How long does it take to double your money? In my short video, I showed a simple mental shortcut called the Rule of 72. Take 72 and divide it by your annual return percentage, and you get the approximate number of years it takes your money to double. Today, I'm going to expand that into a complete, practical lesson. You'll learn how the Rule of 72 really works, when it's reliable, when it can mislead you, and how to use it for three things: growing wealth, understanding inflation, and escaping high-interest debt. Quick note, this is educational content, not financial advice. Let's get into it. Here's the basic formula: years to double 72. Annual rate of return, in percent. So if you expect 6% a year, 72, 6 pounds equals 12 years to double. If you expect 8% a year, 72, 8 pounds equals 9 years to double. At 10% a year, 72, 10 equals 7.2 years. That's why this rule is so popular. It turns compounding into something you can feel. Instead of "my money grows over time," you get a timeline. But I want to make something very clear. The Rule of 72 is an estimate, not a promise. It assumes a steady rate and consistent compounding. Real investing is messy, returns are uneven, markets fluctuate, taxes exist, and fees exist. So the Rule of 72 is best used for planning and intuition, not for predicting exact outcomes. Now, why 72? Because it's convenient for mental math. It has lots of divisors: 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 12. That makes it quick. And it's also reasonably accurate for common return ranges, especially around mid-single-digit to low double-digit rates. But it becomes less accurate when rates are very low or very high. And if you want a more math-perfect version, you'll sometimes see alternatives like 69.3, which comes from natural logarithms and relates to continuous compounding. You do not need that for everyday use. But it's good to know the Rule of 72 is a shortcut, not magic. So how do you use this rule in real life without fooling yourself? Let's break it into three powerful use cases. Use case number 1, setting realistic expectations for growth. A lot of people either underestimate compounding or overestimate it. They either think investing is pointless, or they believe anyone can double money fast. The Rule of 72 gives you an instant reality check. If someone says, "I can double your money in 1 year," that implies a 72% annual return. That should immediately trigger skepticism. In real markets, high returns come with high risk, and anyone promising guaranteed high returns is a major red flag. This is important because scammers love simple emotional hooks: fast doubling, guaranteed profit, zero risk. In reality, legitimate investing always has risk, and guaranteed high returns are one of the classic warning signs of fraud. So, Rule of 72 can protect you from hype. It doesn't tell you what to invest in, but it can expose unrealistic claims. Use case number 2, understanding the real enemy, high-interest debt. Compounding is not only a wealth tool, it can also be a weapon against you. If your credit card APR is 20% and you carry a balance 72, 20 equals 3.6 years. That means the debt can double in about 3.6 years, especially when interest compounds frequently. And credit card interest often compounds daily. So if you're stuck making minimum payments, you're not just behind, you're fighting compounding in the wrong direction. This is why one of the highest leverage financial moves for many people is not chasing complex investments. It's eliminating high-interest debt. Because paying off a high APR is like earning a guaranteed return equal to that APR, without market risk. Again, not financial advice, just the logic of compounding. So when you hear compound interest, remember, it can build your future, or it can multiply your debt. Same math, different direction. Use case number 3, inflation and purchasing power. Most people think inflation is just prices going up, but inflation is also your money losing value over time. The rule of 72 works here too. If inflation averages 3%, 72, 3 equals 24. So in about 24 years, your purchasing power can be cut in half. That means if you keep money idle forever, you're quietly losing buying power. Even if the number in your account stays the same, what it can buy is shrinking. Again, this is not a call to take crazy risk. It's a call to understand what's happening. Inflation is compounding too. Now that you know the 3 big uses, let's talk about the biggest misunderstandings people have. Misunderstanding number 1. I'll get the same return every year. Investing returns are not smooth. Even if an investment averages 8% over a long period, it might be up 20% one year and down 15% another year. The rule of 72 assumes a steady rate, so it's best for long-term thinking, not short-term prediction. Misunderstanding number 2. Ignoring fees and taxes. A small fee sounds harmless, but over time it reduces your effective return. The rule of 72 uses your net return, not the marketing number. Same with taxes. Taxes can reduce what you keep. So when you use the rule of 72, think after fees and realistic conditions, not best case headline return. Misunderstanding number 3. Confusing saving with investing. A savings account has a stated interest rate. Investments do not have a guaranteed rate. So the rule of 72 is more reliable for fixed-rate products and much more ballpark for market-based investing. It's still useful, but it's an estimate. Now, I want to make this even more practical. Here's a simple way to apply the rule of 72 to your own goals without overcomplicating it. Step 1. Pick a reasonable target timeline. Ask yourself, in a perfect world, when would I like my money to double? Let's say you want to double in 10 years. Step 2. Reverse the rule. If year's 72 rate, then rate 72 years. So for 10 years, 72, 10 equals 7.2%. That means you'd need roughly a 7.2% annual compounded return to double in about a decade. Again, not a promise, not a guarantee, just a planning estimate. But this helps you understand the relationship between time and return. If you want to double in 5 years, 72, 5 is 14.4%. That's a much higher return, which generally means much higher risk. So now you can see why fast doubling is not a casual goal, it's an aggressive one. And if you want to double in 20 years, 72, 20 in 3.6%. That's a lower return, which might be more realistic for very low-risk scenarios, depending on conditions. So the rule of 72 is a translator. It translates dream timelines into return requirements. Now, there's one more upgrade that makes this lesson more honest. In real life, most people don't invest one lump sum and walk away. They contribute regularly, every week, every month, every payday. The rule of 72 doesn't capture regular contributions. It assumes one amount compounding over time. So if you want a more realistic projection, you use a compound interest calculator that includes contributions. That's not as mental math friendly, but it's more practical. So here's the best way to combine both approaches. Use the rule of 72 for quick intuition. Use a calculator for planning contributions and scenarios. Now, let's connect this back to what actually creates results for normal people. It's not finding a perfect formula. It's building a repeatable system. 1. Know your numbers. 2. Spend with intention. 3. Remove high-interest debt. 4. Build an emergency fund. 5. Invest consistently for the long term if and when it fits your situation. The rule of 72 helps with the mindset part. It keeps you grounded. It gives you a way to sanity check timelines, rates, and claims. And it also highlights the most underrated truth in personal finance. Time is the multiplier. At 6%, doubling takes about 12 years. At 8%, about 9 years. At 10%, about 7.2 years. The difference between 6% and 10% sounds small, but on a doubling timeline, it changes everything. Now, a quick safety note before we wrap up, because this matters especially on social media. Be careful with anyone who promises guaranteed high returns, risk-free investing, or private deals that double money quickly. Serious investing is boring most of the time, and if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. If you want to learn, stick to education, transparent tools, and simple math you can verify. Let's close with a simple challenge. Take 3 numbers, your savings interest rate or a conservative rate you're considering, your inflation estimate, and your debt APR if you carry any balance. Do Rule of 72 for each one. How long for money to double? How long for purchasing power to halve? How long for debt to double? That one exercise can change your entire financial behavior because it makes the future feel real. And if you want a simple finance control panel for budgeting and goals, you can check the link in my bio or the link in the description. Educational only, not financial advice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.